So in this video, I'm in one of Mallorca's most popular beaches. I'm down here in Es Trenc. It is a natural park, it's a nature reserve, but as a resident here on the island for over 18 years, I'm going to tell you why I just never come to this absolutely gorgeous beach. Now you can see I'm down here in some very, very clean and clear water. I'm actually standing in the sea just because the beach behind me is actually so busy, so it's going to make it a little bit harder to film. But in this video, find out why this is the one beach that I would not bother visiting on the weekend, and I've got a very good reason why too. Now you can see why people do travel far and wide down to Es Trenc, to these lovely crystal clear turquoise blue waters. Just check this out. I mean, this has got to be one of the most pretty locations on the island. But what I might tell you might actually surprise you, and if you are coming over to the island for quite a nice relaxing holiday, then there may be a few reasons why you might not want to go out of your way to visit this side of the island. The main reason is that this beautiful natural park, which is one of Mallorca's finest, doesn't really have that natural park feeling anymore. It has been affected by tourism saturation and it is extremely busy. Now I've picked one of the times of day which is going to be the least busy. It's gone 4 o'clock here, so people are actually starting to leave the beach, but you can actually see behind me that it's still very busy down here. Now, this isn't really my idea of a relaxing day on the beach. To be honest, I've seen Palma Nova Beach look a lot less busy than this during the month of August. So I dread to think what Es Trenc Beach is like in peak season in July and August, when not only residents are on holiday, but we just have floods of tourists coming in here too. What's more, this isn't the most accessible beach on the island either. If you're coming to the main parking here on Es Trenc, where you have to come down maybe a 3 or 4 kilometre road, it's extremely tight and winding and quite nerve-wracking too, because the car park fills up very, very quickly, and then you find lots of very frustrated holidaymakers having to make their way back, desperately trying to find another parking to get down onto the beach. So parking down here is very, very limited, but that doesn't stop this beach from becoming very busy. Now, Es Trenc stretches along a good couple of kilometres here, so you can actually enter Es Trenc over at Sarapita and Ses Covetes, and you can walk along the lovely powdery white sands and crystal blue sea to find your spot on the beach. But finding a spot on the beach isn't really as easy as it may be in, say, somewhere like Alcudia, when you have that huge 16-kilometre beach, and at whatever time of year you're going to visit that beach, it's just not going to be as busy and as packed as you're going to find it down here. So given that this area is a natural park, it's not actually that easy to get to. The best TIB bus to catch would be the 508 from Palma to Sarapita, and walking along the beach through Ses Covetes. If you catch the 517 bus from Campos to Colonia San Jordi, you have a 3-kilometre walk from the nearest bus stop, so I really wouldn't recommend taking this bus. What's more, and this is the biggest pain point, this is the really biggest pain point for me, is that as a resident, I really don't like paying to go to the beach, because we have literally hundreds of beaches here to choose from on Mallorca. You can go just about anywhere and it doesn't cost you a penny to visit the beach, but if you come and use the parking here over in Es Trenc, it costs you €5 for the day. Whether you're staying here for half an hour, but as I am today, or you're actually just coming here for the whole day. Now, I do believe that over in Sarapita that the parking charge is going to be around €7, so it's going to be a little bit more expensive, but paying to go to the beach as a resident over here isn't really something that I really want to do, especially as there's so many other places that you can go on the island too, where you can park for free and you can get onto the sand and into the turquoise waters too. But you're going to find actually that the beach isn't really that wide in places as well, so during the peak of the summer months, and the last time I came down here, you were almost towel to towel with people down here, and I was on the Sarapita side as well, and they're just much better beach experiences that you can get here on the island, even in the main tourism resorts that often people turn their noses up at, thinking this would be a much better idea to come down to the natural park of Es Trenc just because it is so beautiful, and it is beautiful. I mean, check it out behind me, and I'm afraid you can see quite a bit of the sunshine coming off the water, but you can just see how lovely it is over here. But you're going to get the same experience on so many of the other beaches here without having the nightmare drive and the battle, and also the expense for parking as well. Now, another reason why you're going to find Es Trenc Beach to be so popular is because it's also one of the main nudist beaches over here in Mallorca too. And nudism is perfectly acceptable on this beach, and that's probably one of the reasons I'm actually staying here in the water. The further into the middle of the beach that you're going to get, you're going to find the main nudist areas. So that's just to let you know, if you're coming here with your family, then maybe stay either side, so maybe on the Sescovete side, or maybe where I am at the moment near the main parking. But the further you get into the centre of this natural park, the more you're going to find it, well, just being more of a natural park, and you're going to find a lot of nudist sunbathers too. Now, when I did film my top 10 Mallorca beaches video, I did receive some criticism that I didn't include Playa Es Trenc Beach in my top 10, but these are the main reasons why. Now, look, you can see how lovely it is, and it is absolutely gorgeous, but the parking is not the only expense that you're going to get down here, because, well, they're just not really that many services either. But they have these little chiringuito, they have these little beach bars which do run along the beaches over here on Es Trenc, but they are super expensive, and they're also very, very busy with very limited stock as well of what they're serving. And that's just something which I don't like. I prefer to personally have more places where I can pick up some snacks and drinks, and also just to have a much quieter experience too. And if you are coming down here for the day, then I really do recommend bringing your own drinks and snacks, because a mojito in the bar that you can see in front of me is €11.50, and the bocadillo baguette sandwich is €8. So it's not exactly cheap if you're wanting to get a spot of lunch down here. And of course, at lunchtime you're going to have to battle with the queues too. But one of the lovely advantages of coming here as well is really, if you do have your super yacht and you are cruising along the waters along the south coast, then this area may well be worth a stop just for snorkeling in the really crystal clear turquoise waters. Then I would say it's worth it. I wouldn't necessarily say it is worth battling to get a space on the really busy sands here, but if you are coming along in your yacht, then definitely make a stop. Another downside to visiting Es Trenc Beach is, well, it's not great accessibility if you're in a wheelchair too. I can't really see any boardwalks here right in the centre part of the beach. Maybe you've got some boardwalks in the Sarapita side. I won't go down there today, but again, this beach isn't the best if you do have accessibility issues. And also, if you do want to find the emptier part of the beach, then just be prepared to walk as well into the centre as well. The later you come on in the day, probably the further you're going to have to walk to find your place on the sands. But really, in my opinion, if you want to see other beaches in Mallorca where maybe you're going to get some better value or you're going to have better accessibility, then do check out this video appearing here on YouTube. Don't forget to, if you also have any further questions about this area, you can find me in the Facebook group and also on my Instagram called Mallorca Under the Sun, and there's more information on my website on mallorcaunderthesun.com too. Okay, thanks for watching. I shall see you on the next video. Goodbye for now.